Welcome to episode 2, part A of dealing with performance pressure and reclaiming the joy in your activities. This is designed specifically for students, athletes, and those with career challenges who want to perform better under pressure. Today, we're looking at a really important issue, and that is, why are you really doing what you do? What underlies you participating? Our ideas of success evolved from our early years growing up, usually dramatically affected by family, teachers, coaches, and the culture that we grow up in. Unfortunately, in Western culture, there's a really powerful and unspoken message about how our performances can define who we are and really reflect our self-worth. This can mean that your performance ends up feeling like who you are inside, which is a really heavy burden to carry into your performances. One of the greatest challenges, therefore, that any performer faces is learning to separate your sense of self from the actual performance outcome itself, and importantly, others' opinions of it. Things can get tricky here. So, a good example of this, to clarify, would be considering Usain Bolt. Can you imagine him performing at an Olympic final in front of 80 or 100,000 screaming fans and winning the race in world record time? Imagine the emotion that would go with that, the sense of euphoria. Now, if we were to pause that and then rewind to consider him running in an Olympic stadium where he was alone, performing identically, the emotional impact would be dramatically different. And that's where we would come up against the question of what's the purpose of this activity to the individual? So, is the purpose about being the absolute best, about achieving recognition, uh, awards, feedback, or something else? Or is it because, in fact, the activity is intrinsically meaningful? It's something that you really just love doing and get a great sense of joy out of the achievement of mastering it over time. As you can see, this is an exemplary photo of an athlete winning, in fact, in this particular case, who also commented later that he thought he executed a really masterful tactical race. So let's be clear, the goals that you can have really shape the experience of pressure that you experience in your activity. And doing something just to achieve an end in itself is not necessarily wrong, but it creates a dramatically different experience of the process of performing and your relationship to that. So, if you're able to participate in something because of the sheer joy and the love of it, you're going to feel dramatically different. And the tricky part about this is that if it is a means to an end, you're going to have to get used to the idea, at least when you're a novice, that you may not get the outcomes that you deserve as frequently as you'd like. Now, that can be particularly challenging in certain situations. Say you've got parents or a boss that have their own expectations of your performance. And in these situations, the stress and the performance pressure that you feel can be dramatic. If you feel that you're stuck in this particular scenario, this is something I deal comprehensively in face-to-face consults. So if you're looking for some assistance, please feel free to book an introductory chat via the link associated with the description of this video. The takeaway question for you today before our next episode is for you to go away and really think about what's your motivation for participating, i.e., is it a means to an end, or is the activity sufficient in itself and that is the means alone? Bye for now, and I look forward to catching up with you on the next episode.